Today guys, I want to dive into some of the unanswered questions for Battlefront 2, and I'm going to make this into a series, so if there are any other unanswered questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'm going to cover them in future episodes. So by this, I'm basically talking about some mysteries surrounding the game. I'm going to cover 5 in each episode. Leave a like if you enjoy, and let me know in the comments as well which one of these mysteries you're most intrigued about in this video. So we're going to dive into things with the droidicas, or the crash speeders, or the environmental clutter, whatever you want to call them. This is a huge mystery as to how this droidica ended up on this promotional image. Obviously later down the line it was confirmed that it was just like a still model put in there by accident, but to some extent they must have been working on droidicas, and it poses the question, if EA and DICE are working on droidicas, how far into it are they? How much detail is involved in these droidicas really? Is there a possibility that we would ever see one, because we all know how long it took to add General Grievous into the game and he's pretty hard to animate. So what are the possibilities of these droidicas? It's a huge mystery and one I'd really like to find an answer to one day. Up next we have a smaller crate map for Heroes vs Villains, game modes like that. Now like Geonosis actually, when it comes to Heroes vs Villains, crate is absent off the roster, which is unfortunate. However, Geonosis, although still find it stupid, I can understand because it's only been out like a month. But Crate has been out all year and still hasn't made its way into Heroes vs Villains. I believe people have found like potential Crate HVV maps in the files, I'm not too sure on that one. But either way, even if they haven't, you could use the first phase, the second phase, the third phase, any of these for a Crate Heroes vs Villains map. And it is unfortunate that one of the maps, like Crate, has a ton of detail put into it, just like all of them do, but Crate especially just looks phenomenal. It's missing from HVV, and I'd really like an answer to this one. Up next, Geonosis Arcade. Every map is playable in Arcade, or at least a version of every planet. But Geonosis, absent once again. It's like they only got Geonosis out for Galactic Assault and just snubbed it everywhere else. So unless you're using mods on PC, it's very hard for us console players to do anything with Geonosis in terms of take screenshots, play it when we want to as well, because if you want to play Geonosis right now you just have to get lucky in the rotation. We can't really mess around on Geonosis offline, and this is something I hope they add in later on, and it's very surprising it wasn't in there with the launch of Geonosis. Something I really want to see, Geonosis Arcade. Up next, those Clone Commando files, hence, you know, the very controversial video I uploaded, but these are related to Jump Troopers in the files. However, Ben Walk changed his Twitter banner obviously, and they named these Clone Commandos in the first place and haven't changed them in a year. Now it's very easy to make a spelling error. Obviously you could write General Grievous's name and maybe get 2 of the letters mixed up. But remember when the patch notes were released for one of the updates a few months ago and they accidentally put Geonosis in there and changed it, and everyone thought, oh, is this hinting towards Geonosis? And it was, believe it or not. So why have they just kept Clone Commandos as the title for these files, and why was that there in the first place? Like I said, it's very easy to make a spelling error, but this is a completely different trooper to what the files are about. So many people are just going to complain at me for getting people's hopes up about Clone Commandos, and it's not confirmed guys, but there's something fishy going on with these commandos, and I will get to the bottom of it, I will assure you of that. Finally, we have voice line files.
The Padawan! Kano! So it is to be a rematch then? Senator Amidala, I presume.
Both of these characters have voice lines directed towards them in the files, and it would be very strange with, I'm sure, EA and DICE's busy schedule. They've already got to get the 4 heroes right now, or 2 more, but at the time they had 4 heroes to get done, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Grievous and Dooku. Why would they then start recording lines for other heroes if they haven't got any sort of plans to add them? It would be very strange, wouldn't it, if Ahsoka and Padme didn't make their way into the game somehow. And what really interests me here is that they're both on the same side, so they're both going to need 2 counters. It would be interesting if it was just Ahsoka in the files, or just Padme, meaning only 1 counter would be needed, but this means if they're ever to arrive, we've got to have a counter to each of them, so Jango, Ventress, Savage, who knows who it could be. But it's interesting, isn't it guys? That's probably the word I would associate with this video, interesting, because all 5 of these very interesting, very mysterious, and I'd like some answers. Thank you very much for watching everyone, I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know your favourite unanswered question in the comments section, and I will see you all next time.